Service with the 6th Wisconsin Volunteers by Rufus R. Dawes, Brevet Brigadier General, U.S. Volunteers. Narrated by Robert Anthony. Preface. With the hope that I may contribute something of value for the history of one of the most faithful and gallant regiments in the Army of the Union, the 6th Wisconsin Volunteers, and with the especial object of preserving for our children a record of personal experiences in the war, this book has been published. A box of old letters and papers collected during the war and carefully arranged and preserved by my wife has been a chief source from which I have drawn the subject matter. Contemporary statements and opinions have not been changed. In cases where subsequent knowledge disclosed an error, the fact is noted. Rufus R. Dawes, Marietta, Ohio, November 10th, 1890. To my wife, who joined a destiny with my own when I was a soldier, and thus became, together with myself, subject to the extreme perils of war, this book is affectionately dedicated. Rufus R. Dawes. Company K.
There's a cap in the closet, old, faded, and blue, of very slight value, it may be to you, but a crown jewel studded could not buy it today, with its letters of honor, brave Company K.
Chapter 1. Fort Sumter was fired upon, and recognizing the full import of that event, on the 15th day of April, 1861, President Abraham Lincoln issued his proclamation calling for 75,000 volunteers to suppress the rebellion by force of arms. This first bugle call of war found the author of this book in the sparsely settled county of Juneau in the state of Wisconsin. I was then 22 years of age, and had come out of college with the class of 1860. With the proclamation of the President came the announcement that the quota of the state of Wisconsin would only be one small infantry regiment of 780 men. It seemed quite evident that by only prompt action I might secure what was then termed the glorious privilege of aiding in crushing the rebellion, which undertaking it had been estimated by one in high authority could be accomplished in 60 days. It is pleasant to remember that at that day few questions were raised as to the rates of compensation for service, and so remote a contingency as realizing upon the promise of a pension was not considered. Nothing beyond the opportunity to go was asked. What seemed to most concern our patriotic and ambitious young men—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?